point 3, we have a case study that follows. Okay, this the case is here. It's for you to read. It's found in your textbook, page 149, and the activity is here. Only one question: what other research would you advise the company to undertake before starting to sell in your country? Explain your answer. Now, this will require you to sit for a while and think about the what the what this is all about. Okay, what the case study is about. And the question is, what other research would you advise the company to undertake? So your answer is very important for me to know and to check whether the topic discussed was absorbed well by you. So you have to write down your answer and send a copy of your answer to Discord or WhatsApp. Okay, boys and girls, that's nice. Now we shall be going to uh, the next here. Here are the guides, okay? The guides. All right. Now, who carries out the market research? Yeah, business can do their own market research. Secondary research is easier and cheaper. The business may decide they can afford to hire a specialist who would carry out the investigation for them. Now, we have also the factors influencing the accuracy of market research data. When you collect data, okay, how sure are you that the data gathered are really reliable? Okay, so how accurate the research was made. The reliability or accuracy of the data that has been collected depends largely on the following factors. Okay, first, how carefully the sample was drawn up. Next, the way in which the questions in the questionnaire were phrased to ensure honest responses. Okay, and the sample selected, the size of the sample is also important. The wording of the questions, who carried out the research, bias, like articles in the newspaper sometimes have a bias and important information may be deliberately left out. Okay, age of the information. Okay, how relevant, how in terms of accuracy, the relevance, how is it gathered, like from very very 1800s like this? Okay, so let's see. We have here on page 155 of your textbook the methods of market research. You have this oh no, I'm sorry, it's found on page 151. Okay, the methods of market research: primary research and the secondary research. Now, like what I've told you, when you see this diagram illustration, you can see how well you can discuss everything on your own. So once again, by copying it in your notebook or copybook, you'll be able to be familiarize yourself with all these things. Okay, so we have here um, activity 11.5. Actually, this is activity 11.5 is coming from this table in your book. We will have to check the advantages and disadvantages of different types of market research. For the primary research, we have the questionnaire, interviews, online service, focus group, test, markets. We have the advantages and the disadvantage here, examples of appropriate use and why the information might be accurate. Okay, so secondary research here, internal sources and external sources. So you have the guide answers here. Okay, for example, questionnaire, as we have discussed earlier. Yes, advantages: detailed qualitative information can be gathered, customer opinions can be obtained. This was discussed in the previous slides when we discussed about questionnaires, interviews, and other methods. Okay, so I leave this for you to go over, and these are the guide answers to this table. Okay, this is the continuation, right? We have here the observation. There you go. Observation and focus groups. There you go. And we have the secondary research, internal sources or external sources. Now, how do we design and use a questionnaire? You will ask yourself, what do I want to find out? Who do I need to ask? Age group, male or female, income level or occupation. Where will I carry out my questionnaire? Writing the questions. Okay, when we write the questions, we will take note of the following points. When deciding what question to ask, it is advisable to ask no more than 12 questions only. Keep the questions short and clear. If you want to know the age of the interview, give a choice of age group. For example, 21 to 40 bracket or age group. Huh? Don't ask when you're interviewing someone, how old are you? I hope you don't mind. No. Leave a tick box. Okay, do you belong to which age group? Okay, so if you're 39, it's okay. Now, avoid open-ended questions unless people's opinion are sought. Be careful not to leave the interviewee into an answer that may not be true by asking too direct a question. Think about the order in which you ask the question. Be logical. When you carry out your questionnaire, before going out and asking the questions, think about how you will ask the questions and how you are going to record the results. You may need to create a grid to put the respondents' replies on. How many people are you going to ask? At what time of the day are you going to carry out your questionnaire? Where are you going to carry out the questionnaire and all these things? Okay, you have in your book a case study here about some of the results of a questionnaire that was carried out to look into the feasibility of opening a fast food restaurant in a city center. 100 people were asked at random to answer the questionnaire. The aim of the questionnaire was to identify the particular market segment to be targeted in any promotional campaign. Okay, so we will try to look and assess, okay, what the type of questionnaire that was constructed here or made, and these are the questions. We will analyze the results in the case study above this one and answer the following questions. A, which age group would be most likely to eat in fast food restaurants? Okay, age here, right? We thought we can find the answer to A here by looking at this how they constructed the questionnaire. But you see A here, you cannot obtain the information in this present form. If you broke down the answer into the answers from each age group questions, then you would have a better chance of answering the question. Okay, let's see. Letter B, how could this information affect where the business would advertise its restaurant? You would advertise your restaurant where the age group who are likely to use the restaurant will see the advert. Why did the questionnaire contain the question, how often do you eat out? To find out how often people are likely to use the restaurant. Customers might use the restaurant, but only once a year. In this case, you would not have a very high demand. D, how will the responses to questions 2 and 3 be useful to the fast food restaurant? To estimate the number of potential customers, whether they use restaurants, and how often. Suggest 2 additional questions that could have been included in the questionnaire. Explain why the information they provide would be useful to the business. Okay, examples might include, what price would you usually pay for a meal? To get an idea of possible prices to charge. Or what time of the day do you eat out? To find out if customers would eat in the evening or in the daytime, and therefore when the restaurant would be busy, like that. What type of food do you like to eat? To find out if the restaurant should serve the different types of food. Okay, the results for letter F here. Explain why the questionnaire results might not be very accurate. The results might not be very accurate due to the small sample size. Asking only 100 people would not be enough to get accurate information about the population as a whole. Also, the questions do not obtain very detailed information about the customer's current habits with respect to eating out. Okay? Options such as occasionally are too vague to be sure what the respondents mean. Okay? So we shall be going to the next slide, which is about the presentation of data from market research. All right, the different kinds of data presented and how they are analyzed. Okay.